finals, which would be on Saturday. So you're in the arena, you're in the playoffs. The seeding matches will follow. So the games today, the deciding matches, as they would be in other groups, essentially seed everyone for those quarterfinals, and then the crossover format occurs. You get the idea. Snappy's going to start it off toward Banana. He's been tagged. 2 HP. He's got to back off, and who other than Slowly to get that accuracy at the start. Stavin's got the shot on return. Now, something to point out, something to keep in mind. We saw that Stavin got caught a lot, and not this round apparently, looking excellent so far. 3 kills. Wants more than that. Bomb down bottom of Banana, and he's going hunting for potential ace. But he got caught a lot toward the sandbags when they did play against Na'Vi. Snappy tried to bail him out on multiple occasions and then got caught himself. It was Cadian that started to bring the op over toward the B side of the map, but it wasn't really enough. They didn't adapt enough. Na'Vi's obviously a different opponent. Most of EHOME's success in day one came on the CT side, so it might not be the same scenario here.
Yeah, great shots by Stown at the start of this one, though, and Borup gets one of his own. Should be pretty easy pickings from this point. Only Bingo left alive. He goes running on in, trying to do what he can, but there isn't anything to be done. I think that round from Heroic, the idea was actually the players on Banana weren't anticipating to get those kills. I think they were trying to bait the push into the B site because Heroic had 4 players stacked on B, but Stown just lands all these shots. And at that point, it doesn't matter what you do. You've basically won the round. Stown as well, very young player, 17 years old. One of the few kind of young players we have at the top level of the scene. I think it's sort of him and Brolan who are really still at that sort of age. So definitely good to see him show up early for Heroic. And EHOME will have to go back to the pistols in the second round.
Snappy with a push to the smoke. Slowly is going to back away. He'll go over toward middle. And with him, Bingo heads up alt mid. Merrick takes the charge. And the potential entry. Crossfire setup. Borup and Cadian aim at each other. That's a perfect way to TK, but they won't. They'll set the crossfire as they ready toward the top of the wall. Cadian does the bulk of the lifting. Borup found 2. Cadian finds 3. They go no further than the wall.
Yeah, solid crossfire from Heroic, and you can see those odds heavily favoring them here on Inferno even. The map pick of EHOME, the one map yesterday that EHOME looked competitive on. Hasn't looked too competitive in these first 2 rounds, though. Bingo is the only man on the EHOME side to get any kills on the board. That's going to have to change into this first gun round. AKs for the entirety of the EHOME side. No AWP just yet. Heroic don't have an AWP of their own either, though. Snappy sticking with the MP9. Heroic yesterday were trying a fair bit of battles for Banana, but that's not going to come through in this round. EHOME exploding into top mid. Cadian playing on the A site itself. They need to be careful because the A long aggression is coming in and 2 smokes deployed, but they won't save Cadian. He goes down.
Borup's going to try and take back Library, but Slowly is already in position. Good fast kill from him. Furion takes down S-Tag immediately after. Watch for Snappy. He's got the MP9, which means headshot, that range, can run and gun, move around the weapons, and Furion can't do anything to stop him. Style's going to go back through the apartments, through the library, and at least take some ground back to allow Snappy to run forward and grab an AK, but that might be enough at this point in time because Stown's gone down. AK CT side, they've only conceded 1 round at this point. Not going to be a ton of money for EHOME, but they keep 3 players alive. That's exactly what you want. Less than that, you start to get a little expensive. If they could take 1 more, if Snappy could find 1 more, it would be perfect. He may, because they're actually hunting for him to take the AK back, which is... Okay, I think that's the better call. Back away. If you don't find him for free at that point, just get out of there. 3 up, I think, is a little bit more important. And they can even drop over to Furion and make sure they get a perfect buy with utility at this point.
So Heroic caught by the quick A long aggression at the start of this game. They stacked 3 at Banana, so they were leaving the A site fairly vulnerable. Looks like Cadian wasn't expecting the push to come in quite so quickly. It also looks like Heroic had some panic there. Once they realized A long was lost, they put both of those smokes down at the exact same time. You probably want one player to keep his gun out just to make sure you can win a fight if it comes through. That's kind of what cost Cadian at the start of the round, and then there's only one man holding the A bomb site. Cadian has now got the AWP in his hands, though, so he's confidently facing down mid, and he almost lands that flick shot just wide on the first attempt with the AWP. He will have to reposition to the bomb site, as EHOME might just go for a contact play here. Flash out through the apartments, and here comes the aggression. Tag only gets one kill. Borak on the site also goes down, and EHOME once again take control of that A bomb site.
Bomb plants. Solid job so far on the 2T rounds. Worthy of note, both plants on the A site. Also slowly, by the way, 1 HP. Saving in the pit won't work for him. Not really sure what he's doing, staring into a bucket. Maybe he's throwing a penny in there and making a wish that he could survive.
Should be okay, as long as he starts moving away from the bomb site too.
Yeah, just hanging out, keeping his head down, making sure he's there for his teammates, but they will back out. And even, oh, look at the camaraderie. Yeah. That's cute. Destroyer's like, don't worry, man. I'll help you out. I'll escort you to make sure that no one kills you with your low HP. Hold my hand. You got a friend in me. I don't even know if that's the tune of that song. Yeah, probably keep the singing off broadcast, you know.
Yeah.
We want viewers. We don't want to scare them away.
Well, EHOME might be scaring Heroic away if this keeps on happening for them. Couple of round wins on that A bomb site. Very simple rounds there from EHOME as well. The fact that they can just push out through the apartments, mainly just with the flash, it's a bit scary for Heroic. Banana battle's about to come through. Heroic again committing 3 players to this position, but this time they're not hanging around. Like you pointed out, they got caught here in that previous game yesterday. Or it might have been the day before. Either way, they decide to back off to the bomb site. Cadian has got the AWP in his hands. He was actually their best rated player yesterday for Heroic. Top of the team. Didn't really mean too much, though, when they lost both maps rather convincingly. And I think Maui Snake made a good point over on the desk that I don't think Heroic did too much wrong tactically. It was mainly just a poor game from some of their individuals. Stown was having a really quiet game by his standards. He's normally the best fragger on this team, so that's never going to be a recipe for success. It's another passive A hold from Heroic as EHOME again go back to this A site.
That's the tag waiting, Deagle in hand. Needs his teammate Borup to help him out. He does. That gets 1 plus the assist. Snappy with the AK, able to find 2. Makes a round of it because now it's a FAMAS and an AWP. Katie went over toward B this round, so he's a little bit late to get back toward Library, but at least when he gets there, the smoke has already began to dissipate. Slowly, he's going to hold off behind the box this time. 59, slightly better off. They're going to go for this. No kits. They've got to be quick about it. They know there's one on the site, but slowly reads the smoke and steps out, finds both. His aim can't be disputed, and it's 3 rounds in a row for EHOME.
Yeah, this time it's a proper site take from EHOME with the smokes. And again, they go for that smoke onto the bomb site to try and isolate the players in pit. And even though Heroic can trade reasonably well, it's not like that smoke made a massive difference. EHOME, kind of the same. They traded it out really well, all things considered. They managed to kill the players in the pit pretty quickly. They get onto the bomb site. And then, like you said, Heroic's chances in that retake felt fairly low, but they decided to take the risk. And it doesn't pay off this time round. Nades on Banana not doing all that much damage early. This is a low buy for Heroic, so they were really hoping those nades could soften some EHOME players up early. Marek has taken a bit of damage, but nothing too significant.
So rotation back the other direction from Furion. Snappy with the P250 on the CT side. He's alone, though, on the B site, and he's not done enough to discourage them from heading that direction. Starts to do some damage now, but even still, they'll pursue. They'll push him back and realize that he is the only one on this side of the map. So, Stack's not going to yield much. They will rotate it over because they're going to buy in the next round. That's why they're in this situation, holding themselves at about $2,500 on average. So they can justify rotating and giving away what they have invested, which, again, is not much.
So nice to have another CT smoke there for EHOME. Now they can try and just all exit on Banana. The main aim is just keeping those guns alive. Having said that, EHOME are hanging around here. Heroic may have the opportunity for a kill or two as they move into the bomb site. Marek caught out in the open. Nice shot from Borup. The kill's coming back around. Down gets a couple of nice shots with the P250. Obviously, the round is over, but if he could save the AK, okay, never mind. Bingo sprays him through the smoke. No save guns for Heroic this time, but getting 3 kills at the end there is probably above Heroic's expectations. It was mainly just a couple of nice shots from Stown that allowed that to happen, but they keep EHOME honest on the eco, making sure that the Chinese team have to rebuy as many guns as possible into this next gun round. This looks like a timeout.
Yeah, this is the one. This HUD, again, it's gotten some praise this week for being clean and simple and very intuitive. It's got some good things. I think that everyone's kind of evolved the HUD, right? PGL. Was it Gfinity or PGL? I think PGL was the first one to use it sort of on a large scale. And then everyone's kind of adapted it and improved the viewing experience. And they've all kind of learned from each other. So you've got the 3 maps below the mini maps, some maps that divide. This one uses emphasis by way of making sort of a translucent map on top or on bottom for different elevations on the map, different levels on the map, but some split them. There's all kinds of little things. This one, the one thing I would say is, as clean as it is and as simple as it is and to the point as it is, which is great, it needs a timeout indicator as to who called it and maybe a round loss bonus indicator. That would be the 2 things I would add that would be pretty simple, small, and just give you all the information that you need. So yeah, you can kind of see it below our radar. I'm sure most people have figured that out, but we're on Inferno. It's highlighted in yellow. Nukes next. Overpass if required. Esteg is going to take down Furion, so Heroic with a man advantage. First time in a while. Ooh, and lovely little nade. Gets the AK for his troubles.
A gift from the heavens, perhaps.
I almost think he meant to do that.
I think he may have.
It's hard to say, because I think the gun was inside of the smoke, so he may have just thrown it out, and then when he saw it sliding toward him, was like, hey, I'll take it. But it almost looked somewhat intentional. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah.
These guys are pros. Let's assume they're doing the right thing all the time.
Definitely.
They don't make mistakes.
Oh, Heroic had 3 players at Banana at the start of this round. They've been trying to stop any quick aggression on Banana. This time, though, it's the delayed push, and Snappy almost lines them up. Good trade coming in from Marek. That will force a response from Heroic.
It's interesting that Heroic's putting a bit more pressure on Banana this time. I mentioned that Stow and Snappy were getting caught toward the entrance of B and at the sandbags. That was because you had guys like Simple. Oh, good nade. My goodness, 5 HP. Guys like Simple cross the gap in the smoke. Esteg's going to catch out Bingo. Merrick's got to do this all on his own, 1-on-3. Precarious position, but no one coming in Banana. And a missed shot on the AWP. They know where he is, though. So Cadian's just trying to stay alive. His teammates will swarm the position. Merrick is staying alive longer than he's due, and I think that's going to call the aid of Borup to rotate back around instead. Rather than go for the defuse, they still have 15 seconds, so take care of business and don't let it get out of hand. But yeah, unlike Simple and Electronic putting pressure on that Banana position early, EHOME aren't really contesting it as much, so Heroic are getting more and more comfortable going down. They went for the trades that time. Didn't work out. It allowed the bomb plant, but it's nice to see them actually taking the space given to them.
Yeah, it's nice to see Heroic actually being able to set up for the Banana hold that they clearly want to work with. Team play working out pretty well for them there. I think Marek really did about as well as he could have in that 1v3 attempt. It was mainly just the aim that let him down. If he gets a quick headshot on either of those fights, he can put himself in a position where maybe he has a chance. But then at the end, didn't realize there was a player behind him, pulled his knife out, and ends up going down. These mollies on Banana will be extinguished by EHOME, but they cannot push any further as there's a second incendiary. Stown was jumping there, but just as Destroyer takes up that angle, Stown stops jumping. That Molotov goes into the smoke. Not exactly ideal, but Snappy takes the first battle. Destroyer able to trade. Stown needs to be very careful now. He's the only man here on the B site, and you can see he's aware of that fact. Puts the defensive smoke down and gets back to the site safely.
Borup's going to back away. Smoke. Push straight Ooh, oh no. I think he definitely spotted him. Just did what he could with the smoke to throw it out. Threw it rather than quick switched back. Whatever works, gets the kill. Bit of an awkward situation for both. I'm surprised that Furion wanted to push through that with no utility. He got further than I would have expected. Stalwin's already up on top of Orange's too, so doesn't quite have vision to spot the entrance point, but certainly we'll see above the smoke when they work up the stairwell, and Cadian's backed away given that the smoke has gone out in front of him. Massive gap. If they really wanted to, in fact, you could boost over that. We've seen lots of teams do that from the back corner, but could actually slide at the wall and see toward the coffin, so probably best that Cadian hasn't just gone there yet. He is now. But at this point, it doesn't matter. He'll know the smokes are gone, and he's ready to take down slowly. Bomb dropped for a moment. Stalwin, there you go. Exactly that. Doesn't see them on the way in, and therefore they'll think it's safe. Bit of an off angle. Catches out the bomb, drops it at the well once again. Destroyer, though, has a chance to pull this back. 21 HP. 5 seconds. Maybe not the round, but certainly could have salvaged a bit of economy in that situation.
Yeah, nice to see Cadian just falling back at the end there, realizing there's such little time left. He doesn't need to give anything away to the EHOME side of things. So after some early success from EHOME, it looks like Heroic have really settled into this CT hold. Again, Stown having a good start to the game, similar to Borup. Speaking of Borup, I was chatting with Hunden recently, and he was always saying that he really liked having Borup on his team because Borup is a player who can put up pretty good numbers, and he doesn't necessarily take too many of the sort of really sought-after roles, which can be very, very valuable to have on a team. Right now, again, Heroic are giving up the top mid control, but against the pistols, that is okay. Cadian lands the first shot, but he doesn't get the frag. They push into CT spawn. Cadian eventually gets the kill, second time of asking, but he could be hunted down as Cadian gets the reaction shot. Important frag there, up close and personal. He almost went down and lost the AWP, but he got the kill that he needed to, and Cadian's down to 3 health. One stray bullet would deal with him, but EHOME just can't find it.
Borup with both in return. So EHOME can't get into the A site as quickly or conveniently as they had in the past. Tried 2 rounds over toward B. And it's back to the lead for Cadian and co. I don't know how I feel about these hats. They're festive. But does it dampen the taste?
I mean, they get people talking about you.
That's true. They match the jersey color as well.
I like them. It's kind of the same thought, I think, as the Tesla Cybertruck. Like, people are going to talk about it. Some people are going to like it.
It is brilliant marketing, right?
Exactly.
You cannot deny that Musk has nailed that one.
Maybe it's a bit much to compare the Heroic hats to the Tesla Cybertruck, though. There's a bit of a difference in technology.
There's a bit of a novelty about maybe owning a Cybertruck as well, just for that reason, just to be that guy. Hey, man, electric torque for towing capacity? I'm down. So you can get me the mileage. Snappy's got Slowly. That is the banana contest. Slowly's been the one that's taking that duel most commonly. It's trying to get up and just take the fight, but it's working out far better for Heroic than it did a few days ago. Destroyer. Wide peek, shoulder spotted. Snappy knows he's there. Doesn't waste any time to go back out for the re-peek and even pre-fires it. Furion, though, has Borup, and that's going to open up the A site yet again because they had 2 on the rotation. It's just Esseteg left to cover it off, and Esseteg's got first, nearly gets the transfer over toward Furion, but can't do it, and a second headshot for him. Means a bomb plant down, and a 2-on-2 ensues. Smoke out front library, watch for the graveyard stair play because Furion can wait and play off information. Merrick inside of the site would be the one to get that. They'll leave quad open, hoping that no one heads that direction. Pillar for Merrick if they wrap around, and they'll play off the sound cues at this point. They think both, and rightfully so, are over in that direction. Furion takes the fight first. Doesn't wait at all. Doesn't let them walk in. Just goes hunting and 4 kills. Fantastic. All headshots, by the way, for Furion.
Yeah, he had a bit of a quiet day yesterday, but definitely improving it in that round, getting the quad kill. And he was only on 1 kill before that round, so nice to see him having some impact. Again, EHOME are kind of contesting Banana at the start of these rounds, but they're not fully committing to it. Like you were saying, Slowly, more often than not, is getting maybe 1 kill on Banana and then getting traded out. But it's really the A-side aggression that's been working wonders for EHOME in these early rounds. This time, it's a much more heavy commitment to Banana. Destroyer has got the AWP in hand. He's also got a Molotov in front of him, which he's walked into. Takes a bit of damage in the process. Another molly lands at his feet. He lands the shot. Snappy down to 36 health. Unfortunately, it was through the wall, so it's not going to be good for the frag. This smoke making life very difficult for EHOME. The nades being traded back and forth, but EHOME have taken more of the damage. Heroic this time do concede Banana though, so just EHOME hanging around at the bottom of Banana is enough to force Heroic back to the bomb site. It's also worth pointing out the buy for Heroic. Again, Cadian's been getting the AWP a lot, but there's not much else to work with in this round. They had quite a few pieces of utility, which they put on Banana early. However, the weaponry is not quite as strong. It's a somewhat tempting gap on the right side of that smoke.
Yeah, I don't know that I would be so tempted, but you're right.
It's tempting, but probably not the correct call.
Yeah, gray screen. I think it's just close enough that you wouldn't see what the opponent can. Stowen can see plenty, and Snappy's going to use the MP9 to good effect, firing inside of the smoke. Interesting choice of weaponry for him, but all he could afford, and also the same for Borup. It's actually going to work out and get Snappy a bit more money, a bit more going in his favor. And the fact that they used utility so well is pretty decent. Look at how many have swarmed the bomb. Time is going to expire. No need to go after that. Keep the guns on the T side. They themselves starting to get broken, and with no bomb plant, no need to go down afterwards, so they backed away. Yeah, good smoke utility from the CTs. They timed that very well. Absolutely no access for EHOME.
I think you can see Heroic as a team in that round. They definitely favored the utility over the weaponry, and you can kind of see why. I think they are pretty good with their nades in general. If you look at their actual nade stats, they look really good, even compared to some of the top teams. I think that might be inflated slightly because they play a lot of Inferno, where you're just naturally going to get more nade damage, but they're definitely good at that. Holding the smokes that round was what really made the difference for them. EHOME have made this a scrappy game, but this is where Heroic might be able to start to take control. Oh, S-Attack gets a kill from behind. Borup also coming in with a double, slowly finding some good trades, but the bomb is gone over at a long.
Stowen sneaks up the alt mid. Destroyer wants the staircase. Can't get that. Taken out immediately. They've slowly in a 1-on-3. Bomb down toward the arch. Has to cross mid to get to it, and surprisingly, they do have Snappy still there. I was going to say they're backing off that. Rotating away is Stowen going over toward alt mid instead. Slowly's considering that as a possibility, but is he interested in the bomb? Is he not sure of possibility? He certainly knows his teammate went down toward the top of alt mid, so he goes looking forward. Unfortunately, his aim eludes him that time, and had he found that kill, it would have been more encouraging. Does at least know that whoever the member was that he fired at is far enough away from the action that he'll go the opposite approach, try and wrap around instead. 21 seconds. He did have just over a minute when this 1-on-3 began, or at least I think it was 49 seconds, but if he gets this, he can actually rush the bomb. 10 seconds. He doesn't have time. Can't get back there at all now. Excuse me. Just a few seconds out of reach.
Yeah, again, in these 1v2s, 1v3s, EHOME are trying what they can. They're trying to just take some risks. You see slowly they're just deciding he has to jump out on towards the bomb site. He can't afford to just clear those angles. That would cost too much time. And he was hoping he could find the backstab, which works. It's just the time isn't there for him. So again, EHOME trying to take some risks. I like what they're trying to do. It's just that it feels like Heroic are now starting to slowly but surely take control of this matchup. Only a 7-5 lead though. Again, EHOME have done a good job at just getting a few rounds on the board early, keep themselves in contention in this game. Both Stowen and Snappy taking a surprising amount of damage on Banana there. They come away with the man advantage, but it costs them both a lot of life. Fionn again lurking in the apartments. EHOME have been able to win some fights in this position previously. Interestingly, Heroic are not playing too heavily on the B bomb site itself right now. I think they have one player boosted on the flower pot boost, one player back in CT spawn, but Fjorn is trying to lurk, and that will not work as the tag takes him down.
Bingo with the Deagle to try and work into the site. Cadian has an incendiary. Stowen beside him does not have anything more than a flash, so they'll have to be combative in their holds. Jumping is going to throw the bomb forward. Not like there was much in the round. 8 now for Heroic. So 4 in a row for EHOME to respond after losing the pistol and the subsequent conversion. But then it's been all Heroic since then, pretty much. One single round, that's all. In the run of 6, excuse me, for the CTs. AWP for Snappy this time, rather than Cadian, and we'll see what he comes up with, because Cadian's going to stay on the rifle and head over with Stowen. So they are changing things at B even still, and I do think that was I mean, I've mentioned it, I don't mean to harp on about it, but it was definitely a weakness against Na'Vi. This time they're going to get far more aggressive, something we didn't see, and the AWP comes into play because Cadian, the one who normally wields it, pushes them back, therefore to middle, and Snappy was ready for it. Good team play.
Yeah, EHOME again are spreading out across the map, but I feel like a lot of their early success just came from them grouping up early and hitting that A bomb site and just sticking together, because we're seeing right now when they spread out, they're just getting picked apart by Heroic at the start of some of these rounds.
Cadian deploys his smoke. I know it seemed early and overlapping with the one already at the bottom of Banana. Okay, now that changes what I was going to say. I was going to say because he has it, but he wants to rotate, so he might as well get rid of it and help Stowen hold toward Banana. He still had a smoke left. He can anchor it, but he's put that out very early as well. Destroyer goes straight through it, and oh, I thought he had the headshot ready. If he had, it might have been too early. The CT's playing their own utility and giving a chance to EHOME. Gets back to the site. Rotation goes back around. There's no need to overcommit to A. They already anticipated the rush going that way instead, and now that things have slowed down, back to a default setup for the CTs, and Cadian back on the op since they've rotated. Gets the kill on Bingo. Snappy on the M4 that Cadian started with, gets Destroyer. I like this dynamic play from Heroic.
22 seconds for Fjorn to find 5 opponents, or find his way onto a bomb site, which doesn't look too likely considering he is currently hunting Cadian. Has to just push into A. He knows he needs to die before the time at this point, so just get toward the bomb site. They could try and just kill him after time, but they won't as the tag closes out the round. EHOME really struggling at the end of the half here, and I think this goes back to what we were kind of suggesting about Heroic in that game against Na'Vi, is that they did look pretty poor on Banana, but I think other than that, they generally looked okay in their tactics. It was just their individuals were not really able to compete with Na'Vi, which is understandable. When you've got simple electronic against you, it's never easy. But here, we're just seeing them not only have the edge individually, but also in terms of the team play and the tactics.
Slowly is anything but. Straight through. Good counter flash. Snappy gets back out. And again, Stowen was toward the sandbags. That's more what we saw. But this time, Snappy makes no mistake. Great flash as well from the third member on the site. Borup this time. Changing things constantly on this defensive setup. But Merrick's going to catch out Stowen. No real need for that push. They have the bomb. I suppose they wanted to dig themselves in Banana, but it's now a 4-on-1. Merrick's gone, so they're fine. They'll get away with it. Could have been a little awkward. 10-5 looking to be the likely score for half. Double peak, almost to line it, but Borup does get the kill on Bingo in the end. Not bad. 10 rounds, CT side. Pretty solid.
Yeah, I do feel like EHOME maybe missed a trick or two. When they had that early success at A with those quick A plays, I feel like they could have gone back to that later on in the half, because Heroic did continue to heavily put pressure on Banana as that half went on. So I feel like if EHOME go back to that fast A aggression in 1 or 2 more rounds, maybe they could have kept it closer. But you also have to remember that in EHOME's opening game against Vitality, they only got 3 rounds on their T side, and they came back on their CT side to make it a somewhat close game. It ended up being a 16-12 loss for them. And their CT side shows some good calculated risks, some good aggression. So if that can come through again from EHOME, they might not be completely out of this game. But there is a lot of pressure on these upcoming rounds for EHOME. You can't let Heroic take too large of a lead at this point on your own map pick. So let's see what EHOME have to offer us up on their, in theory, stronger CT side.
Furion waiting inside Boiler with so much... Oh no, so much attention over toward the Arch side. You would have thought he had free kills. He couldn't find the headshot, and that quickly spells disaster. Bomb already planted. Don't really see this one. Okay, well, fair enough. Destroyer's got other ideas. I was going to say going much further than toward Quad. They have gotten that far. Bingo's going to trade out on Stowen, and it's now a 2-on-2. Kit's still in play as well. Merrick's the one with it. He throws the flash to catch out S-Tag and Snappy. Merrick even checks the apartments to make sure that no one's going to peek late, but when they jump back in, they realize there's a stellar crossfire set up, and Snappy underneath finds both headshots on the Glock. 11-5 for Heroic, and momentum in their favor. Could be a quick game in the end. Just want to point out, though, that it was 12-3 in favor of Vitality on Inferno when they had the CT side start, and that came back to 9 rounds on the CT side for EHOME. So this is their better side, but that time I think EHOME won both pistols. I'm just trying to confirm that. Yeah, they did. Excuse me, they won the second half pistol, so that gave them the momentum that was required. They won't have that luxury this time.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that's what was needed for EHOME here. That pistol coming through could have been the difference maker, but now Heroic should come out to quite a comfortable lead. EHOME have even taken the risk of going for the force buy here, so if they lose this round, they're in real trouble. This needs to be a force buy win, otherwise you're likely going 13-5 behind. Never going to be easy to come back from that point. Marek, though, gets the opening kill. The smoke goes down. Heroic have to cancel this B aggression, and they don't have too many nades left. Yes, they have AKs on most of their players, but only a couple of smokes and a single flashbang, and they might commit to this B site. They're using up a bit of further utility, but I think they've realized that they can't risk pushing through that smoke. So decent start to the round for EHOME.
Very good start. We've seen a number of second round wins, force buy wins this weekend. Used to be something that plagued Vitality, but they've improved upon that, thankfully, because I seriously think that if you look back to sort of Liquid's Grand Slam run, a lot of the times they played Vitality, that was the biggest issue, and I think it kept Vitality from potentially winning a few more events that could have disrupted the order. Snappy, Stowen, 2 quick kills to pull the round back at least for Heroic, and they'll get the bomb toward the A site. Safe plant deep. They've got one toward the arch. Nowhere to hide for Stowen, but he's got the aim, and he is ready. Destroyer, though, peeking out. First tap on the scout, successful, and smartly switches to the pistol to finish off his prey, but it's Borup taking down his teammate, leaving him left in a 1-on-3. Not much to work with. 16. 26 seconds left on the bomb, so this one's going to go the distance. Or is it Snappy? Ooh, just about found him. No mistake on the second peek.
Good game so far from Snappy. He was involved a lot in that first half in those fights on Banana, helping Stowen on that area of the map. It definitely felt like that's the biggest difference for Heroic here today, is that hold on Banana was much better. They were oftentimes getting the advantage early from their CT side. And now heading into this second half, they might just be too far in the lead for EHOME to really come back. Has to be a low buy for EHOME into this 18th round. Not much to work with across the board. That's a good nade. Both Cadian and Esatag down to about half health. If only it was lined up with another one, that could have been some kills. Doesn't look like there's much of a plan for EHOME in this round. Normally you see teams try and just gamble stack one of the bomb sites. Maybe try some crazy aggression, because realistically, when you've got 3 USPs, a P250 and a Deeg, you kind of have to do something to try and get some kills. They are now rotating another man over to the B site. That looks to be the right read as Heroic line up this B play.
Stowen's in great position to find Furion, who pushes through. Unfortunately, Fjorn didn't have a chance at it. Did a double take even when he checked the corner. And so much damage already distilled on the B site. I say that. Bomb temporarily has been put down. Cadian jumping up nearly gave himself up because his aim was not at the ready and he gets dinked. They couldn't afford to lose too many members. It could have gotten very awkward with that smoke still down on the boost in position. Snappy, you can see how timid they've become. Even Frakes to check, but slowly was pushing toward mid. Missed out on Stalin's position. Sees him now. Does he take advantage of it? Now waits for him to repeat. Thought he might try and slide down and close the gap, but Deagle at range, still sufficient. The problem is that as that fight goes on, there's less chance that if he hits this shot, he can run. Oh, he does hit it. Run down and grab the AK from a kill, because the rest of the T's will head that direction. Low HP from Borup, though, so got to be careful because, yeah, he's been found out. He was hoping for a free flank. No need to give away an AK.
Yeah, I think Heroic have kind of realized those warning shots are to be taken and they will be safe. Ooh, Cadian gets somewhat close to dying to the bomb, but they are fine. They are good to go. This is where we need to see success from EHOME, though. It has to be this round. Destroyer picks up the AWP. The rest of the team picking up rifles. No kit on the CT side, so they can't really play for retake, especially on Inferno. If they lose a bomb site, they might be in trouble, unless they have a fairly hefty man advantage. Here comes what feels like a must-win round for EHOME in context of this series, because remember, the next map is Nuke. That's a map that they lost 16-1 in their opening game. EHOME did not look good on that Nuke map, so this has really got to be the map win for them, you would think, and that doesn't seem too likely right now. EHOME have taken away Banana at the start of this round, but the response from EHOME is some quick A aggression.
Ooh, Destroyer saw the hands and was ready for the shot, but Borup beat him to it. And that is the signaling of go from the apartments. The cue to enter, and they do exactly that. Enter the site resoundingly. Bomb goes down. 2 players left on the CT side. They're backing away. Yet to find a round so far on this CT campaign. And unfortunately for them, as we said, losing the pistol did mean that momentum out of contention for them. CT side, you've got to wait a little bit longer. And first gun rounds, they have to save now because they won't be affording another one right away. They haven't given themselves much room to claw back in. And again, I'll say it, their CT side looked pretty good against Vitality. So it's a bit of a shame that they won't even really get to bring it into the picture this time. Or if they do, certainly it doesn't have as much chances.
I think looking at the Heroic side of things, though, it's good to see again, Stown, who was very quiet yesterday, has been playing well. Snappy is currently top fragging, over 100 ADR for him. Borup also having a decent game, so it's nice to see some of these players just find some form in this game. This is what you kind of expect Heroic to be able to do in this matchup. You'd expect their individuals to be much better than that series against Na'Vi. Just puts them on a good path for the rest of the tournament, assuming they can close out this series. Certainly should be closing out this map as Marek is caught up close and personal. Etitag gets the opener. No assistance for him there. Snappy had a molly in his hands, and that means that Bingo can isolate those fights. At least Down gets one back in the meantime, but slowly is pushing down mid.
Yeah, that's a great call from Bingo. Doesn't want to sit back and let them repeak it. Oh, this is a great, easy kill from Slowly, but I think he's going to give himself up. Cadian at the ready with the scope already in place. It was an AK for free, but now they know where he is. That doesn't make it any easier. In the flash, they've pulled it back. A bit of an overcommitment, I think, at that point in time. I would have liked to see the AK picked up, just hold T-stairs and lock them in. They could have used time in their favor, perhaps, but doesn't quite work out. Good shot from Cadian to start off the return. And it's map point for Heroic. Nuke next, which is also significant because that means it's the exact same order of the first two maps. I think the decider in that one, the first one, I'd have to look it up. Actually, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It might have been Mirage, but either way, it was Nuke that they got blown out by Vitality.
Heroic played Nuke as well, and they didn't look great on it either against Na'Vi. They got beaten pretty handily.
Why have you done this? Throws a nade straight at him.
I do generally think Heroic's nuke is pretty good, though. Again, Snappy always likes to try and incorporate nuke into the map pool on every single one of his teams. I think that was more just an off day for Heroic than anything else. So I'd expect them to be big favorites, especially after this performance. We'll just make sure they can close it out. Esatag up close, gets a good kill. He's been finding some nice entry work on Banana. He's been the one player that's maybe been a bit quiet for Heroic. So nice to see him get a couple of kills in the last few rounds. Flash goes a bit too far. Cadian can just hold this angle, and he's gifted a free frag. Fion goes down, and Heroic get into a clean man advantage.
Clean. And potential to close. Only one inside of the B site. Bingo. At new box. He's forced out slightly by a Molotov. That gives him a wide angle to counter out the entry, but he's removed immediately by a Krieg and could not retreat behind the box after the kill. That was definitely going to be the play, but now destroying slowly, and they have to go. Obviously, map point, no choice. Some tranquility in the music for us as we get to the close of this game. Italy used to have nice music. Probably still does. I haven't played Italy in a long time.
Don't think anyone has.
Slowly.
There's probably some people out there that still
Definitely. Definitely. Slowly is going to take his time. No pun intended. Stallin's found him. No chance. Then a 1-on-4 trying to work back into the B site. And Heroic goes 16-5, which brings Nuke. And as I say, was 16-1 against Vitality. I've just brought it up here in front of me.